Hi everyone, it's Jen from Simple Local Life, and I'm back with my friend Adrien at Wildslake Farm Market. How are you today, Adrien?
Very good.
Good. So we're almost at the middle of September. I said we're still sweating a bit. It's still humid, but you know, definitely that fall season, it's shifted once school starts and Labor Day's over. Everyone feels that kind of shift, whether it's we feel it in the air or not, and I can see it everywhere here at the market. So what kind of things are you seeing, and what's happening here at the market with the kind of seasonal shift, Adrien?
Well, yeah, you said it. It's definitely a change of the season. We're into fall, which brings so many good things in our business. And you've heard me talking about some of the stuff for a couple of weeks, but I want to mention it again.
We need to mention it again. Why not?
Definitely one of the most exciting things going on here at the market right now is our fall mums.
Yeah.
And we've shown you a couple varieties over the last couple of weeks, but what is happening now is that they're all starting to bloom.
They are.
We have 16 different varieties still.
Incredible.
And covers a whole myriad of colors.
Let's grab this one here, Adrien.
This is one I don't think we've shown anyone yet. This is Tribeca Purple, it's called, and it's just about to pop. But as you can see, just filled with blooms, super dense, really nice mound form.
Love it.
This is in an 8-inch pot, very popular.
Yep.
We're having trouble to keep them on the tables down by the market, so people are loving those ones.
Yes.
And another one that's very popular right now is it's a yellow orange. As we're moving into almost pumpkin season, everyone's been asking about orange. So we're starting to see, this is our first orange variety that we have. This one's it's actually called Sunrise Yellow, or it's a yellow.
It'll come to us.
We'll have to find the tag. But anyway,
there's a specific fancy name, but
they
look
all
at
have fancy names. Yes, it's a yellow-orange variety. Very popular.
Perfect.
And we have some other orange ones that will be ready probably within the week or so.
Yeah, and I saw some white up here in the greenhouse. You know, and the yellows. It's all those kind of, not so much even just a traditional. You know, there's lots of different varieties of colors for those who like to have a more neutral palette or anything. But I love the traditional, the yellow oranges, and of course those kind of burgundies, rust colors. But that purple is beautiful. Yeah. So lots of mums here in different sizes and kind of popping into color and bloom, which is what people want to see when they start. So lots of mums here, which is exciting. And then of course it's always this seasonal shift with produce. So what are we seeing in the market?
Yeah, so we're moving out of a lot of our berries. We have the tail end of the cultivated blueberries, but they'll be over within another week or so. But exciting part of the season, which everyone is coming in for, are apples.
Yes.
And if you know your apples well, you might recognize this one. This is a Honeycrisp. And we were able to get Honeycrisps really early this year. And we've caught a few people off guard and have surprised everyone, but
they're excited.
They are, so we have all kinds of Honeycrisps, and they're delicious.
I love a Honeycrisp.
They're for an early season apple. You can't beat it, really.
Oh, perfect.
And we of course have our Gravensteins. They're going really well as well, but it seems like everyone's most excited about the Honeycrisps early, because everyone was expecting the Gravensteins, but when they saw the Honeycrisps this week, it was a very pleasant surprise.
Good. Well, that's
great. And over the next couple of weeks, we'll be getting more and more varieties of apples. Next to come is Sweet Tango, and we hope to have some yellow varieties next week.
Oh, perfect. Okay, it's apple season and lots of varieties, and kind of eat your way through the season, through the ones as they come. So very exciting to see these early Honeycrisp. This is stuff I get really excited about, is squash. So what do we got here, Adrien?
Yeah, so this week we have just a small amount of 3 varieties of squash. We have our butternut, of course, spaghetti, and cute little acorns.
Oh, awesome! So nice variety.
This is to start us off. It's pretty early for squash. So these are the 3 varieties we have right now. And again, expecting over the next week or so, we should be getting our buttercup, and we'll have a bin of those. So we'll have lots of buttercup for doing everything in the fall, pies and other dishes, soups.
Perfect. Okay, so lots happening here at the market with, of course, all the mums coming along and just bursting into bloom with color. Lots of seasonal produce here as we move through September. And lots always happening here at Wildslake Farm Market. Anything else, Adrien?
Well, I just want to mention, just before we were talking here this morning, a truckload of our fall bulbs showed up.
Yes.
So that's all of our
amazing
daffodils and tulips, and there's some other stuff in there as well, some ornamental onion. So that's really exciting. We're going to be
It is.
breaking down those boxes today, and
Okay.
we'll have those out.
Oh, perfect. I know a lot of people wait for those too, and still lots of time to get those, little, especially you don't want to do anything like that before this big rain, and it's a little warm still too, but, you don't want to wait either because those go quickly.
That's right. Yeah, so we have our fall bulbs as well as our planting garlic.
Yeah.
And it is plenty early. It's quite warm for planting
Yeah.
any of that, but as you said, it's important to get your stuff
Yeah.
early. You can keep them in a cool place until you plant them, but
Yeah.
if you get them early, then you know you have them.
Then you know you have them, avoid that disappointment. Anyway, well, thank you so much,
That's right.
Adrian, and thank you guys for watching. See
Thank
you
you.
later. So what should we be thinking about, Elspeth, when it comes to planting garlic?
First of all, at this time of year, it's really good to get your garlic because what we find is that it disappears pretty fast.
does.
People want to stockpile,
Yep.
get what they know they're going to need for later, but it is a little early to plant it.
Okay.
I think that the weather's still too warm.
Too warm.
So when we have cold nights and start to get frosty, and about the same time that you're putting your bulbs in is a good time.
Okay.
So early October.
Yep.
But we have 7 varieties, and we have a great supply now. So if
Yes.
you want to try some, and we can also give you some help in picking varieties.
Yeah.
But we have a great little resource that's put up right beside the garlic, which gives you the details of all the different varieties we have. So this is very helpful,
It is.
I think, and enough basic information together with what I'm going to say today to get you going if you haven't planted garlic before.
Yeah.
So this garlic planted now will be harvested next, kind of July.
July.
Yes. And if you there's basically two categories of garlic.
Okay.
You have a soft neck and a hard neck
Yeah.
garlic.
Yeah.
I recommend the hard neck variety because
Okay.
they're better suited for our northern climate.
Okay.
So the soft neck garlic is good if you want to do braiding. You know how
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
the,
Oh, yeah.
the hanging up?
Yes.
It's very decorative. If you want to do that, then choose soft neck.
Okay.
We have, I think, only one variety of soft neck. We've selected varieties we know are better for here.
Okay.
But if you want to try doing that and you've got a nice dry garage or an attic in a building that works well to dry it, that makes it really easy to do.
Okay.
But hard neck garlic is very easy to distinguish because its stem, I'm going to pull it apart, its stem looks like that.
Right.
And you know that the cloves are all around that
Yes.
hard neck.
Yes,
Perfectly
it makes
named.
sense.
And with hard neck, you either have a purple stripe,
Yeah.
it'll be pink, the skin will be lightly colored pink,
Yes.
and the cloves are larger. With soft neck, you get more cloves on a bulb,
Okay.
but with a hard neck, you get fewer cloves but bigger
Bigger,
ones.
bigger.
So that's the big distinguishing feature about them, and hard neck is probably more intense flavor.
Okay.
Now, I have to say that I am not a connoisseur of garlic. I love using garlic, but some people can really distinguish the flavors.
Yes.
I'm not, my taste is not that developed to be able to do that.
I don't
but
think mine is either.
but
I
for
just love it, but I'm not
Yes.
distinguished, no.
But I do recommend that you plant more than one variety.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that then there may be one variety that does better on your particular growing conditions.
Yeah.
So it should be like any bulb in a well-drained, full sunny location. And then next spring you're going to get the bulb, the little clove is going to shoot up with a little green stem.
Yes.
And by early June you're going to have a nice tall scape on it. The garlic scapes, which you've probably either seen if you're growing it yourself or you've seen them at the farmer's market, you've seen recipes using them. Because you cut them off, you can use them for stir fries, you can make pesto with them, you can pickle them. There's lots of things to do with the scapes.
Yes.
And you won't get a scape on a soft neck one.
Oh.
Yes, so that's another
Oh,
distinguishing
that's another
feature.
reason to go for
Yes.
hard neck, yeah.
So when you go to plant, you're going to separate all these little cloves.
Yes.
And I know this seems obvious, but it isn't for everybody.
say.
Yeah, good to say. So you're going to plant with the tip point up,
Yeah.
and this little part on the bottom, which looks like where there might have been something, and there was, that was the root.
Yeah.
And you're going to plant it that way, about 2 inches in the ground.
Okay.
And you're going to space them about 4 inches to 6 inches apart. Now that seems like quite a
It
bit,
does seem like quite a bit.
but you want to make sure they've got plenty of
Space.
room to draw nutrients and space. I recommend that if you've planted in garlic in one location one year, you move it to a new place.
Okay.
And the reason is you can have disease problems that may not be evident this year,
Yeah.
but can develop and affect what you plant next year. And don't plant your garlic close to onions or anything in the allium family, because you can get those little onion maggots that go in your onions.
dear,
I
oh
know
dear.
it's not very appetizing, but it will go in your garlic. So
Okay.
rotate your garlic
Rotate.
planting.
Yeah.
Leave the little thin skin on the outside. You don't need to
Okay.
take that off.
Good.
That's part of the protection as you put it in the ground.
Yes.
And you don't fertilize it now. You're going to fertilize it in the spring.
Okay.
You could put a little bit of bone meal in the ground, but nothing more than that.
Okay.
And then next spring, once it sends up a little shoot, then just put some fertilizer for perennials around the outside on what we say top dressing the ground.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Those
Wow.
are the basics.
Well, it's always a fun thing, in the fall to plant because, and if you don't do it, like I didn't do it last year, then I'm just kicking myself in the spring. So I know sometimes we feel like we're kind of done with the garden and ready to move on by September, October, but really it's so easy to plant some garlic.
It's
one of
super
and it's
easy.
very easy to grow.
It is.
And it just gives you a little boost in the spring to see it pop up and you kind of start thinking about it in the winter. It's fun. So I enjoy growing it.
And we're going to remind people about planting
Yeah.
garlic, but this is the kind of the early bird gets the worm when it comes to getting the bulbs. So
yes.
if you want to get those, come and get them.
Yeah.
Put them in a paper bag and
Okay.
store them where it's dry.
Dry.
And
Okay.
then we'll remind you.
Won't be disappointed.
Yeah,
if you
we'll have
wait.
notes in our newsletter, and we'll be reminding people over the next couple of weeks to come and get their garlic.
Okay, so lots of garlic here at Wells Lake Farm Market. If you want to pick yours up now to be ready for planting later this fall. Thank you, Elspeth.
Okay.